Mm. Oh, it's my camera. All right. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you all for joining us for today's a month of service presentation of our Money, Health, and Wealth Financial Capability Series. Today's presentation is for the love of money, how to better maintain your relationship with money. My name is Nia Murray. I am the programs coordinator with Neighborhood Recovery Community Development Corporation, and we are one of the partners in the A Month of Service collaboration. But also included, we have the City of Houston's Department of Neighborhoods. And joining us today, we have Ms. Cecile Carlson. And on behalf of Neighborhood Recovery, we have our presenting partner, our presenting sponsor with Family Houston, who will be providing the information today, Ms. Monet Cheney as a financial coach with Family Houston. But also included in the partnership, we have the Earl Carl Institute, Lone Star Legal Aid, Texas Legal Services Center, Houston Volunteer Lawyers, Harris Central Appraisal District, and the Harris County Tax Assessor Collector's Office and Houston Volunteer Lawyers. And together we make up a month of service. And basically what a month of service is the collaboration of all of our organizations. We come together on a monthly basis and offer a variety of different workshops, resources, and information to the community relative to asset building, asset protection, the maintaining of generational wealth, and community empowerment. And part of that collaboration, our efforts is to make sure that we get as much information out to the community as we can. We know that there are a lot of underserved communities that are out there that do not have access to a lot of information, don't know where to go for particular resources or services that are available to them, either for free or at a very low cost. So several years ago, we decided to come together and collaborate and bring all of our initiatives together to make sure that we try to create a larger impact and reach as many people as we possibly can. So though we've switched to the virtual platform and we are slowly getting back into our in-person sessions, we transition to this virtual platform, and it has actually allowed us the opportunity to reach even more people across the city of Houston, around Harris County, surrounding counties, and across the state of Texas, and even in some other states in some instances as well, as we do live stream this platform on our virtual. We do live stream on our social media platforms, on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you are joining us, thank you very much for the first time. If you are a returning participant or viewer, thank you all for coming back and continuing to support A Month of Service. Please like and follow A Month of Service on our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. Follow our channel as well. So again, thank you guys for joining us. Do know that we like these sessions to be as interactive as we possibly can have them. Um, so at the end, please feel free to ask whatever questions that it is that you have of our volunteer presenters that are here to provide this information for you. You have the opportunity to type your question into the chat box, or send myself or Cecile a private message, or send us an email saying, hey, this is my question, or I know I won't be able to attend today, but can you make sure this is addressed? As we do record these sessions, and again, we do live stream on those virtual platforms. So you do have the opportunity to go back and view the presentation again, or share, or we encourage you to share the recording or the links for these presentations with anyone who you feel may also find the information to be beneficial. So again, thank you guys very much. In answering your questions, or presenting or having whatever comments that you like, please note that, again, we are recording and live streaming. So we want to try to protect your privacy as much as we possibly can. So if you don't want that kind of interaction or engagement, so make sure you keep your cameras off, or make sure that you don't divulge any personal detailed information about your particular situation or circumstance. If you do find yourselves in need of a specific question or for your particular situation, then we do encourage you to reach out to our financial coach, Ms. Cheney, or any of our available partners for any particular service that you may find yourselves in need of. So don't think that your question is a stupid question or something that people may not understand. We do encourage you to ask whatever questions that it is that you may have. But again, we want to just try to protect your privacy as much as we possibly can. So do keep that in mind. As this presentation, as well as all of our other presentations, do note that they are for educational purposes only. None are to be considered any kind of legal advice or anything of that nature. So we do encourage you to reach out directly to our legal service partners if you do have a civil legal matter that needs to be addressed as well. So, but with that being said, there's quite a bit of good information here that we want to present to you guys today about the importance of of handling or your relationship with money and treating your relationship with your money just like you treat any other relationship, whether it be personal or business or what have you. Know that that financial relationship is just as important as all of your other relationships and should treat it as such. So we got, again, some great information to share with you guys today. So we're going to go ahead with our introductions and then we'll move right on into our presentation. So Ms. Cecile, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Cecile Carlson. I'm an outreach coordinator here at the Department of Neighborhoods with the City of Houston. As Nia mentioned, we are part of the AMOS collaboration, so we bring information and legal resources to people. And I'm very excited for today's workshop. The relationship with money is something that everybody handles money, but not all of us are educated on how to make it last, how to get the most out of it, and how to budget and all those things. So for myself personally, I'm super excited to be able to be in this workshop and learn a little bit myself, and want to definitely thank Family Houston and Ms. Monet here for volunteering their time and knowledge to share their wisdom with the community. And I'm excited to see today's presentation. So thank you all so much for being here.
Oh, great. Ms. Monet.
Hi, my name is Monet Cheney. I'm a senior financial stability coach with Family Houston. And so we've been collaborating with NRCDC for over a decade now.
Yeah, it's been that long.
And so let me set up my presentation. And I am going to go into later on what I do as a financial stability coach. I got to keep telling myself because they change our title. But I will go into a little bit more what I do as a financial stability coach and how Family Houston can help you reach your financial and career goals. And our services are free as well. But to get started, sorry, my chair is a little off. So to get started, Family Houston Financial Stability Program is presenting money mindsets and how to create a better relationship with money. And so our objectives for today is just understanding our money mindsets, ways to change your relationship with money, and creating SMART goals. So first, I want to go over just what your money mindset is. So the money mindset is your unique and individual set of core beliefs about money and how money works in the world. It is your attitude around money, as well as it determines how you spend, save, and and then just your overall relationship with money. So just as a quick little icebreaker, how do you think about money? So when you think of your current money mindsets, what do you feel like those are? Are you a saver? Are you someone who spends a lot? Do you tend to be a giver, and maybe you're giving more than keeping for yourself? So how do you think about money, and where do the core beliefs come from that you have about money?
Well, for me, I definitely know, make sure all bills and everything are paid. save a little bit, and then the rest I'm traveling and having fun.
I like that. Anyone
Cecile,
else want
what
to
about
share?
you?
I think for me, my relationship with money has changed over the years, but I feel that most of us are told to go make money because we need it to live. But like I said earlier, we're not, and I just speak for myself, but I believe that most of us are not educated on how to make the most out of it or how to prioritize our expenses or how to budget. Um, so, yeah, I mean, I've learned a few things here and there, but I think that there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely.
Um, Miss Catherine and Mr. Frank, do you have anything you want to add? Just what are your mindsets around money, or how do you feel like your relationship is with money? And where did that belief system come from? Okay, so Miss Catherine said, I am a giver, an impulse spender when I get my feelings hurt and I don't receive as much as I give. I might make sure I pay my bills, and I've learned how to sacrifice my wants. Okay, so, and then this is a good starting place because we'll talk about later how you can change certain mindsets that will lead to you changing some of your habits around money. Mr. Frank, did you want to include anything? Okay, and then for myself, I would say I think it depends on the time of the year. Growing up, I grew up in a household where I didn't really see or notice if my parents was having issues with money because we were fed. Of course, the bills are always paid, but so I never really felt like if my parents were ever struggling to do anything. So when I became an adult, it was a learning curve because to me, um, honestly, I'm going to say as a kid, I thought we were rich based on the lifestyle that my parents provided. And then when I grew up, I learned that that was a different case because when I learned the like different income brackets and what rich is actually, what being rich is as far as like your income amount, then I realized that it wasn't that my family was rich as in the amount of money my parents had. It was that my mom was very good at managing money and making sure that everything was taken care of. And we were able to cover, you know, some of the things that she wanted for us to have or do. Um, so I kind of felt like that did kind of shape my belief system around money, that it doesn't really matter how much money you have, to a sense, to make sure that your basic needs are satisfied. And as long as you have the tools and education to manage, then you can make like those better decisions when it comes to your money, and it can change what your mindset is around money as well. And you guys can still see the presentation, correct?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so just to dive in a little bit more about just the definition of your money mindset. Your money mindset is your unique set of beliefs and your attitude about money. It drives the decisions you make about saving, spending, and handling money. Also, your money mindset shapes the way you feel about debt, your attitude towards people who make more or less money than you, how easily you can give, your ability to invest with confidence, and more. So when we think about our belief systems and attitudes around money, it does drive our relationship with money. Like Catherine says, she tends to give more than she receives. So her doing that, there's a belief system behind that. There's something that might have like shaped the idea that caused her to be a giver. And so if she feel like, okay, me giving more than I receive is something I want to change, then one thing to think about is how can I analyze my belief system? What are the deeper meanings behind the way I spend or save or handle money? And how can I make my relationship better? So just like Nia says, it's the same thing. Like if you're building relationships with other humans and like friendships or romantic relationships, if there's issues within those relationships, then you're always going to be looking for how can I change or problem solve these things to make this relationship better. And then sometimes it might involve making some sacrifices. It can be setting up boundaries around your money. And again, analyzing in depth, where this certain belief systems come from that created certain habits, and then using that information to make changes. So why is it important to understand your money mindset? Because again, what you believe will drive your behavior and your relationship with money, which will lead to a positive result. So if you feel like your relationship with money is not a good relationship, if you feel that you have habits that you consider are negative habits, then changing that belief system and changing those mindsets is going to help you figure out how can I move in a sense with my money where I'm getting positive results. And so positive results might be, again, setting some boundaries with giving money to family and friends. It can be paying yourself first so you can build and maintain your savings. It can be tracking your expenses on a monthly basis so you can understand where your money is going. Also, it can be if you have anxieties or stress around certain things like debt or earning. Some people have anxiety of earning more money. So even if you have certain like emotions or feelings or negative emotions or feelings around money, how can we change those to a more positive mindsets and positive emotions to where you can get the positive results that you're looking for? Are there any questions for me in the chat? We're good?
Not yet.
Okay. So how do we determine your money mindset? Answering the questions below can help you evaluate what belief system you currently have about money, and can help you determine ways to change your relationship with money. So I would say take a moment, maybe take a screenshot of the screen. And this is not something you can do right now, but if you want to answer at least one of the questions, we can start with number one, and you can just put it in a chat box if you want to answer one of the questions on the screen. But I'm just going to read through them for those who might be listening in. Number one is, what do you believe about earning money? And do you think time creates money or value? And then secondly, what do you believe about saving and having money? Third, what do you believe about debt? And how do you feel about paying your debts? Four is, what do you believe about spending money and how do you feel when you spend money? And lastly, number five, what did you learn about money growing up and how did it shape your beliefs around money and your relationship with money? So I would say take a screenshot and then if you're wanting to share any answers to one of these questions, feel free to unmute or put it in the chat box. But answering these questions is going to really help you determine what your relationship with money is. It also can help you evaluate ways that you can change certain habits around your money and to create a better relationship. And it's not going to happen overnight because, of course, changing habits can take at least 21 to 30 days or more. And when it comes to spending habits, I usually think of it on a quarterly basis because it might take you 3 months of tracking your money and seeing tracking your income and tracking your expenses to really start making changes to any spending habits that you have, and then just making any changes to how you spend your money. It might take you up to 3 months to do that because you have to because everybody has a certain way that they spend on a regular basis. And sometimes it can be hard to kind of get out of that routine that you already set up and then to set up new routines in order to meet certain goals. So I would just say if you have time, sit down and answer these questions to kind of help you determine what your relationship is with money. Did we have anybody who wanted to share? Or did anyone share in the chat? Okay.
Sorry, no, nothing in the chat, but we do have someone here joining us in person that's trying to get caught up. So Ms. Catherine here says, I believe that earning money is necessary to provide everyday life for yourself and your family. I think time creates money and value because in terms of earning money, once you're on your job for a certain period, you can get a raise. However, it also shows that you are responsible and reliable. So it adds value.
Yes, I do agree. I do agree. And then they can kind of add into your belief system as in earning more money. Because you have some people, they're all about the money. So whatever they need to do to earn more and more. And again, people who have that type of mindset, it comes from somewhere. So again, answering those questions are going to help you figure out where those mindsets originate from. So then you can tackle them on a deeper level to make changes to your relationship with money. So now I'm just going to go into how your money mindset, just the money mindset and things that can influence our behaviors with money. So I'm just going to go over just some topics that can influence how we behave with our money and how we develop a relationship around money. And first, I want to start with the topic of keeping up with the Joneses. So I know everyone is probably aware of this topic, keeping up with the Joneses. It's exactly where, what's the show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians came from, where it's basically everyone is wanting what someone else has. And so it's almost like you're in a competition with your neighbors. So you see your neighbor has a bigger house, or you see your neighbor has multiple cars, and now you're desiring to have the same thing. And sometimes with keeping up with the Joneses, it can lead to excessive spending. It can lead to making poor business decisions, or even just poor decisions with money, because you're trying to obtain something that someone else has. And when we see the Joneses, we don't know how the Joneses got to where they got. The Joneses can be in high debt. Like they can own a lot on that big house. They can have loans on all three cars. Even the furniture in the home can have loans on it. They can be in high credit card debt with high interest rates. So we don't know how the Joneses got to where they are. The Joneses can be doing something criminal. Again, we don't know how the Joneses got the things that they have. And so you should focus when it comes to how you spend your money, and then obtaining things around like what works best for your current budget and income. And if it's something that you desire to have, then understand like what is the proper route for me to go to if I want to purchase a bigger house one day. What do I need to do to purchase a bigger house where it's not going to put me in major debt or put me in a financial situation? And then I know like now with social media and reality TV, and we have so much access to more than just our neighbors. Before social media, all you had is what your neighbors have, or your immediate circle of friends, or even coworkers. You didn't see what everyone has around the world. And so I think like with social media and even just reality TV, it makes it harder for people to not want to desire more things, or like purchasing luxury items and things like that. And there are people going into debt just to create and maintain a certain status. So again, with keeping up with the Joneses, just being mindful of where you're currently at, and just making sure that if you're wanting to obtain certain things, that you're doing it in a way to where it's financially responsible, and it's not going to lead to less savings and higher debts. Is there anything anyone want to add? Or do anyone ever feel tempted or influenced by like the things that they see on social media or things like that?
I think that also depends on a lot of times the generation as well, because a lot of folks in my little ain't gonna say like I want to say, but in my age bracket, how we grew up and how we were raised, it's like I don't nobody care what nobody else got, or the kids when they come home, well, so and so got this and so got that or whatever. It's like, so what? We don't really care. So yeah, sometimes it's not all the time, but sometimes I think it's a generational thing too.
I think for millennials, I do kind of feel like there's this, I call it the C and B scene culture, where like when you go out somewhere, it's like who can spend the most money. I see that a lot, and sometimes it makes me wonder. And I even remember like growing up, and like the first day of school, it's like everyone likes to show up to school, and they don't show up in there. Like they wait to get their school clothes until after the first day of school, because they want to see what everybody else has first. So then they can go and get the same things and be part of whatever that trend is that year at school. So I do remember that, like growing up in school, wanting to wait to see what everybody else had before I went school shopping, because I wanted to match whatever the trends were. And just wanting certain brand names and things like that. But as I got older, I had to learn that at some point, a lot of people really don't care what you have. I do, like Dia said, I do think there are some people who do care and they're in competition with each other, but also I feel like there are a lot of people who don't really care about how much you have and how much you spend. They just care more so about like building a genuine relationship with you. But I do see it a lot where there's just this competition on who can spend the most money. Even wearing showing off different luxury brand name items and things like that. So I do see that a lot sometimes. Did I skip one? No, I didn't. Okay. So the next one, what I wanted to talk about is just emotions around money, primarily anxiety about money, and just how that can kind of affect how you move with money. And just as a financial coach, I see this a lot in the sense that there are individuals, when it comes to debt, maybe there's this anxiety around tackling a debt because debt can get overwhelming and it can be very emotional. It can cause, some people to go into depression, especially when you don't know how you're going to get out of it. And I see it a lot with also keeping individuals from making the steps to possibly move into debt freedom, because it can be anxiety around contacting your creditors, especially student loan, contacting like the student loan servicers, or contacting like your credit card companies to see if there's any like financial hardship options, or meeting with a financial coach, or meeting with like a debt counselor. So I see a lot how anxiety can sometimes hinder people from moving forward with meeting certain financial goals. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but there's also individuals who have anxiety over making more money. Like, you would think that everybody wants to earn more money, but there are people who have anxiety around earning more money. And again, that anxiety, it stems from somewhere, and it stems from somewhere within their belief system that earning too much money or earning more money is a bad thing. So sometimes that can prevent them from moving forward with certain business decisions or even career opportunities, because they have this fear around earning more money. And then we have those who have anxiety around spending money. So they tend to hold on to all of their money. And again, this can come from it can come from some personal experiences they had while growing up. Or it could come from a certain like belief system, or just things that they saw growing up. So they tend to hold on to their money, and they may not choose to enjoy life sometime. And then it's some people who have anxiety of holding on to their money. So they tend to spend it all or give it all away. So these are things to kind of think about, like how do your stress levels, your anxiety about money affects your relationship with money and how you handle your money. Again, also it can be around like just your relationships with other individuals. So, if you're someone who is afraid of telling individuals no when they're asking for money. So even though maybe it's money that you're wanting to use for something else, even if you feel like it's like, oh, okay, I want to go to the spa one day, but now I can't because my family member needs some money for a bill, and you're afraid to tell them no, because there's an anxiety around maybe you don't want to have a negative relationship with another individual. So instead of saying, hey, no, I'm not going to let you borrow money this time because I have I have certain financial goals I'm trying to meet, you tend to give the money away. Sometimes some people just, they, for some reason, they don't want to see money in their account. So they tend to spend more. So this is one thing to kind of think about, like, how do your feelings and your emotions affect the way you handle money? And then if you feel like you have certain stress and anxiety about money, just understanding like, where do I go to tackle those things? Do I need to meet with a healthcare professional to talk it through, as well as a financial coach or financial counselor? Because sometimes when you have like certain negative emotions that are causing, I'm trying to think of the right word, but when you have certain negative emotions that's causing you to not meet certain financial goals, and sometimes these things can lead to financial crisis. It can lead to overdrafting accounts or importing bills not getting taken care of. So finding like the right person to speak to so you can tackle the stress and anxiety around money and get yourself into a better relationship with your money. Do anyone feel like, without like going into personal information, do anyone feel like their emotions can affect how they spend money at a given time?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. I'm gonna say I do too sometimes. um, sometimes when I'm in a social mood and I'm happy and having fun, I might not pay attention to what I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
because I want to have fun. And then I'm not gonna lie, sometimes that can cause anxiety because then I'm like, okay, well, where did my money go? I need to figure out what happened.
Yes. Like,
So
wait a minute. I had
that's
only
where
got food one
budget
time.
comes in. So yes, and that's the other thing that can cause anxiety and stress is when you're going through the month and then you get to the end of the month and you're like, oh my God, where did all my money go? And it's just that not knowing where your money went, what you spent it on, can cause anxiety as well. So then that's where we can discuss like, how do we get into better control of our money to reduce stress and anxiety? How can we be more responsible with credit to reduce that anxiety around having debts? Because essentially debt and credit is not bad if you're not using more than you can afford to pay back. So if you're responsible with credit, if you're able to pay your credit card bills off every month, if you have like a card note that has a good interest rate and fits your budget, or you have a house note that is affordable. So when your debt is affordable and you're able to manage it from month to month, paying everything on time, having low credit card balances, then debt is actually not bad. It's working as a benefit in your a benefit to you to build good credit history. And then in some cases, if you have credit cards, it can benefit you with cash back or travel points. But when you are overusing credit or debt, or you have credit that is not affordable to maintain, then that's where that anxiety can come in. So then it's learning, like, what can I do to tackle this in order to reduce my stress and create a better relationship with my money. And then next, I know earlier when I was talking about keeping up with the Joneses, I mentioned social media and being influenced. So I just want to dive more into the idea of like social media influences and them selling us happiness, and how sometimes that can cause us to overspend and not be able to successfully achieve our goals. And honestly, in my opinion, I just feel like the influencing has gotten crazier and crazier each year. And it's like now, like even going on to social media, you can immediately purchase something in someone's Instagram post or TikTok post, or even on YouTube. You can watch a YouTube video and instantly click on a link and purchase that item. So they're just making it so much easier for us to be tempted to spend money. And then sometimes you don't even realize that you're being influenced until it's too late, and you have all of this big Amazon bill now because you saw some Amazon hauls on Instagram or YouTube, and now you're buying all of these things on Amazon. And honestly, just as a financial coach and just going over different individual budgets, I've noticed the increase in the Amazon and Target expense over the years. And that's kind of a telltale sign of just the trends and how we are influenced to spend more money. And not only are they making it a lot easier for us to purchase things that influencers are promoting on their social media accounts. Amazon, everybody have Amazon Prime, so Amazon is making it like, okay, you're gonna get this item either today or tomorrow. It's not like you have to wait like a week for your item to come in. So that impulse, it's like they're feeding into our impulsiveness and that impulse buying, which can lead to us spending more money and also like using more credit to purchase these items that we might not necessarily need. And then also with new forms of payments being created. So for example, you have like the pay in four. So PayPal paying for, Afterpay, where you can split your payments, and then Affirm having easy access to using Affirm to purchase more things. So even people who don't have credit cards can now still spend more money because there's ways for you to either get Affirm or just split your payments into fours. So you can buy things now and not have to save up for it and purchase it later, which the more time it takes between you seeing an item and you purchasing it, the more likely you're gonna decide, oh, I don't need that anymore, or I'm not interested in that item anymore. So it's almost like everything had been set up to get us to purchase things right away, even if we don't have enough money currently to purchase that item fully. How do you guys feel about social media and how we're being influenced to spend more money?
It's a setup. It's a setup. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we're trying to get better with managing money and saving money, but then you go online like, oh my God, that's cute. What is that? Let me see what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Or you see somebody eating something or trying a new gadget out. You're like, well, I think I could use that. Maybe something that you don't even need for real, but because they made it look interesting, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get it. And then now your account is overdrawn. Like what did I do that for?
Right. And then one thing I'm also learning is a lot of the individuals who are online promoting these items, they get commission every time we click and purchase those items. And a lot of times they're not even using them items themselves. If you've heard in the news lately, a lot of companies are changing their return policies, and mainly they're doing this because um, a lot of influencers are purchasing items to create content and then they're returning the item.
Oh, wow.
So if you think about it, like you said, it's a scam because a lot of influencers are not actually really using these products on a long-term basis. Some are genuine, but there are a lot of influencers who are purchasing tons of items from like Amazon, different like clothing stores, or even Target, Home Goods, like all of these places that have kind of relaxed return policies. And then now they're returning all the items back to the store. So now that's causing an issue because now when we buy those things because we think that we want or need those items and we get it, we're like, okay, well, I don't need this item, or I don't really like this item. I don't even understand why I bought it. Now the stores are making it, retailers are making it harder for you to return that item and get a full refund. So this is creating a bigger issue just with your finances. So like you said, if you feel like it's someone who are an impulse spender, and you feel that, okay, you're sometimes easily influenced to buy things. And I don't feel like it's anything wrong with that. Cause I feel like, I do love the idea that someone else is like testing an item out and showing me like, okay, this is a good item, this, that, and the other before I purchase. But if you feel like it's something that is causing a financial strain for you, then you need to decide, okay, well, what do I need to do to avoid being influenced to impulse buy things online? Do I need to get rid of my Amazon Prime? Because with Amazon Prime, I know I've noticed there's sometimes you can get it the same day, or you can get it the next day or the next couple of days. So do I need to take away my access to these type of things? Do I need to take a break from social media? Do I need to unfollow certain content? So just thinking about how are you influenced to spend more money? And it don't even have to be just social media. It can be just things you see on TV or things you see like from other individuals. Because again, if one person is influenced by an influencer, they're gonna go out there and tell all their friends, I bought this item because such and such
That's happened to me before.
do X, Y, and Z, and I think you should get it too. So just being mindful of setting those boundaries to prevent yourself from overspending. And then I'm going to go into some ways to kind of help change your relationship with money and change your mindsets. So what can we do to change our money mindsets? So our mindsets around money is not set in stone. So at any point of time in your life, you can change your relationship with money and your belief system around money. And you should always strive to find ways to change these mindsets and build a better relationship with your finances. So, and it's the same thing with relationships with friends and family. Whatever belief systems you have are not set in stone. So there's always opportunity for you to do better in any relationships that you're having. So number one, just a way to change your money mindset is get an understanding of your money mindset. So just like earlier, I gave you guys some questions to kind of go over to evaluate what your money mindsets are, because that's going to first kind of give you some understanding of what are things that are driving your relationship with money. Secondly, pay attention to your current behaviors and habits with money. So this can be looking at your accurate income and spending. When you're going through your bank statements and you're adding up all of your spending for the month, then you can start to see like what your behaviors and habits are. So if you're someone who like to eat out a lot, then your eating out expense is going to be high. If you are someone who enjoys entertainment, then your entertainment expenses is going to be high. So when you look at your bank statements and you're looking at your actual spending, and this can go, if you're using credit cards, then you're going to want to go through your credit card transaction history as well. You want to look at all of your spending, whether it's on credit and cash flow, because this is going to help you truly understand what your current behaviors and habits are with money. And then next, make small action to change current beliefs and habits. So a small action can be maybe you're someone who eat out for lunch every day of the week. So a small action can be maybe you're eating out every day for lunch because you feel like you don't have time to prep your lunch for the week. So maybe the small action could be, okay, well, let me prep my lunch for 3 days out of the week. So, and I will make my lunch for 3 days out of the week, and then I'll only eat out for lunch 2 days out of the week. And then I'm going to take whatever money that I save from not eating out for lunch, I'm going to put that into a savings account. So you can see how that's a small little action that can change a certain belief or habit that you have around eating out for lunch every day of the week. So when you're looking at like what your habits are what are like little small action steps that you can take to change those habits. It can also be maybe you can decide like I want to do a no spend month where I only pay for my basic needs and a little bit of wants and not be excessive with my wants. Or maybe I'll do a no spend week where I'm not going to eat out this week, and whatever money that I don't spend on eating out, I'm going to put that into my savings account. So what are small actions that you can change, small actions that you can do to change your current beliefs and habits? And then next, changing negative beliefs and thoughts to positive affirmations. So like I said, maybe you tell yourself, I do not have time to prep lunch for the week. but maybe you can change that to, I can find time to prep lunch for the week. And, or maybe it could be, I'm afraid to contact the student loan department, and that you can change that to say, I'm not afraid to contact them, and I'm going to contact them to get more information to understand how I can tackle whatever issue I need to tackle with this. So how can you change those negative beliefs or thoughts into positive affirmations? And then lastly, set SMART goals and create plans to achieve your goals. So when you're setting SMART goals, you're pretty much clearly defining out your goal. You're giving yourself a way to measure. You're making sure that this goal is achievable, is relevant, and time-based. And when you use, I'm going to go into the SMART acronym a little bit later, but when you create SMART goals, it kind of gives you the means to be a little bit more successful at achieving those goals. And also it can help you change certain habits. Because if you're clearly defining out, just say you're wanting to save $3,000 in 6 months. If you're clearly defining out how you're going to save $3,000 in six months, then that might mean that you end up changing certain habits because you need to find that cash flow in your budget in order to put into your savings. So sometimes when you're creating these SMART goals and you're creating a plan to achieve your goal, it can change some of your habits that you had that prevented you from reaching certain goals. And so just going more into finding ways to change your mindsets around money. Next is just being more intentional with your money. So being intentional with your money is pretty much giving every dollar some type of job to do or some type of purpose. And so when you're being more intentional with your money, you're going to create a vision and set goals. So again, that's where those SMART goals are coming in. And your goals can be long-term or short-term. They can be yearly, monthly, or weekly, or daily goals. So like earlier I said, maybe your goal is instead of eating out every day of the week, you're going to eat out 3 days a week. Or it can be a daily goal like, okay, I'm not going to spend money every day, and daily I'm going to, whatever money I don't spend this day that I would normally spend, I'm going to put that into savings. So creating a vision and setting those goals can help you be more intentional with your money. Next, schedule time to go over your finances each month and make it a date. So make it a fun thing for you to do. Again, just set up that time. It can be at the first of the month or the last day of the month. Set up a little vibe or set up a little ambiance for yourself to sit down and go over your finances every month. I know like one thing like my sister liked to do, she liked to maybe go sit outside with her laptop or her iPad and go over her goals and her financial plans for the month. Or maybe you want to go to like I know this is spending money, but if it fits in the budget, maybe you want to go like sit at a coffee shop and then like listen to some music while you go over your finances. So whatever works best for you, but scheduling that time for yourself and going over your finances is the same way as if you were scheduling time for your friends and family or that person that you're in a relationship with. You need to make time for yourself and make time for your finances. And during that time, you want to go over all of your spending. You want to go over your income for the month. And then you want to set intentions on how you're going to spend for the next month. So that's why I say it's perfect to do this on the last day of the month, or depending on how things are posted in your account, you might want to do it like the first week of the month, because you're going to want to set plans and set intentions on how you want to spend for the next month. And if you're making an accurate budget, and this accurate budget is based on how you're actually spending your money, you should be able to estimate and set a plan based on your previous month's spending on how you want to spend for the next month. Because for the most part, if you're getting the same income every month, that's a given, because that's going to stay the same. If you're someone who income varies, maybe you can gauge based on how many hours you're expecting to work that month to determine like what your income is going to be. When it comes to your expenses, we all got fixed expenses, so that's going to be a given. It's going to stay the same. And then when it comes to things that vary, those expenses that vary from month to month, then you can set a goal like, okay, I only want to eat out, spend $100 eating out. I'm going to spend $300 on groceries. I'm going to spend $100 on entertainment. So, and you're going to choose those amounts based on how you spent money the previous month. And if you're doing this every single month, eventually it's going to become a habit. And like I said, after 3 months, you should be able to see where some of those habits that you had before might be changing. Some of your spending habits might be changing, or your spending habits might stay the same, but at least you are still in more control and you're aware of what your finances look like. And that can reduce some of that anxiety that you have around your finances. And then lastly, check in with your finances weekly. So again, along with your monthly financial check-ins, you do want to check in briefly during the week to just make sure that you're sticking to your goals for the month. So just tracking your income and expenses during a month. And this could be simply just looking at your transaction history in your bank, or setting up alerts to your email or text messages to know when things are posting to your account. So, and this is just going to make sure that you're not at risk of overspending during the month. Do anyone already do these things that they would like to share and how it works for them? So I will say, as a financial coach, I do them, which should be a given. But I am going to admit that I wasn't the best at it at first. It's like keeping up with it at first. But 1 year I told myself that my goal is to do this every single month. And I would say, like, once I started, and we're going to go more into budgeting in a later presentation and budget sheets. But once I started tracking my income and spending and creating intentions for the next month, I will say that I got better and better at not only like reducing debts, but increasing my savings, as well as being able to do things that I want to do, versus having to always like sit out on things, or having to like sacrifice to do something else. And it does take time to build that habit and to get into that routine. So at this point, since I've been doing it for so long, it's just a natural thing for me. Like, I feel uneasy if I don't get on my computer and look at my budget and see where I'm at for the month. Anytime I make any major payments, I get on there and update my budget sheet. And so I can see, well, how much money do I have left to play with? Am I going to meet my goals for this month? And then not only did it reduce my stress around like my finances, it also kind of increased my excitement and happiness, because it feels good when you know, like, I'm going to have a cushion at the end of the month. Like, I'm going to have some extra money to roll over to the next month, or I'm going to have extra money to put into my savings, even though I've already put money in my savings. So it feels good once you get into the habit of setting those intentions with your money, doing those monthly dates with yourself, and then doing those weekly check-ins, because again, it feels good when you are when you feel like you're in control of your financial situation. And so lastly, I do want to talk about creating SMART goals, just to close out our presentation. So earlier I talked about how creating SMART goals can help you move towards changing your habits and forming a better relationship with your money. So SMART goals are a goal setting framework that help you define and achieve your goals. The SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So just to kind of dive into it a little bit more, with specific, you're clearly defining what you want to achieve and how you will achieve your goal. So with this part of the acronym, you're looking at, just say, for instance, I'm going to use savings. So again, you have a savings goal to save $3,000 in 6 months. So that's clearly defined, because not only do you have a stop in place, so you're going to set your time bound, your deadline is going to be 6 months from the day that you start. You also have a clear amount that you're wanting to save. Now that you know, okay, how long you're wanting to accomplish this goal, now you can decide, okay, well, how will I achieve this goal? So this can be, let me go on my budget and see if I have extra income that I can put into savings. Let me take that 3,000 and maybe break it down into monthly amounts that I need to save, or maybe I can break it down into per paycheck. I'm going to say X amount of dollars per paycheck, or maybe you want to save weekly. Whatever that strategy is, you're going to find out what steps are you going to take to get to that 3,000. And then also the next one is measurable. So how are you going to track your progress? So you're attaching a number to your goal so you can track it. And so measuring your goal, again, you set the amount that you want to save. You set how often you're going to put money into your savings to reach that goal. Now you can create either a savings tracker, your own savings tracker, where every month you're looking at how much money you're putting into your savings account and where your savings total is. Also, if depending on the type of saving accounts you have, then you can be watching that money grow. And that's how you're measuring that goal, to make sure that you're getting closer and closer to that end goal. And the next, is this goal achievable? So with achievable, you're making sure your goal is realistic and within your capability. So is $3,000 within 6 months realistic for your budget? If not, then you're going to want to adjust the amount. So looking at that budget is going to help you decide whether this goal is achievable, if it's realistic, because you definitely don't want a goal that's going to be too challenging because you're going to easily give up. And then you don't want it to be too easy, because if it's too easy, then you're not going through that process of changing certain habits that you might have to change to reach the goal. And also, you don't value it as much if there isn't a bit of challenge to the goal that you're trying to accomplish. Next is making sure that your goal is relevant. So this is ensure the goal is important to you and that that you will stay motivated. So again, like when I was talking about keeping up with the Joneses. So are you setting this goal because it's something that you saw someone else is doing? Or are you setting the goal because this is something that's very important to you and this is something that you are wanting to accomplish in your lifetime? When you set goals that are important to you, you're basically giving that goal purpose, and then you're going to stay motivated. And as you're going through the steps of achieving that goal and you're measuring your progress, you're just going to get more and more motivated and more excited about reaching this particular goal. So just making sure that whatever goals that you're wanting to set, that they're relevant to you. And then lastly, time bound. So you always, for every goal, you want to set a deadline for completion. So like we said, with the savings goal, you want to save that amount of money in 6 months. So your deadline, of course, you want to make sure that that deadline is achievable too, because sometimes your deadline might have to be stretched out further. So just making sure that that deadline is achievable as well. And then think about, like, how do I set a deadline for a goal that I'm wanting to reach? Maybe that deadline is centered around something in particular that you're wanting to do in life. So maybe you're moving, maybe you're getting ready to buy a house. So with that case, you may need to save the money by your move date, or you need to save the money by your closing date for the home. Maybe you're getting married and you need to save money for your wedding, or you want to go on a trip, or you're wanting to attend school and or you want to save up for your kids' education. So think about what you're saving for and why it's important to you, and then that can kind of help you determine what that deadline of completion is. And then once you get to that deadline, then you can either celebrate if you accomplish that goal. So it does give you a time and space to celebrate. But also, if you didn't accomplish the goal, then you can sit down and analyze, why didn't I accomplish this goal, and what do I need to do to reach the goal at a later deadline? Is there anything anyone wants to add about setting goals? Okay. So before we leave today, I do want to talk about how you can connect with me if you're interested in financial coaching. So Family Houston, we did combine our financial coaching and employment coaching roles. So I do both, and these services are free because Family Houston understands that sometimes to reach your financial goals, you might have career goals that you need to meet as well. So I do both. And if you're interested in free coaching sessions, then you can reach me at my cell, which is 832-987-2023, or you can email me at mcheney@familyhouston.org. And then if you want to find out more information about our financial stability programs that we have available, you can visit familyhouston.org. Is there any questions or anything anyone wants to add? Nia, did you have anything that you want to add? Because I know I went through kind of fast. But that is all that I have for everyone today.
Thank you all for having this class. I did learn some things about my own spending habits, and I have realized just by sitting here that I have started taking little small steps and making better choices with spending my money or my impulse shopping. So I do thank you guys for having this class.
Now do know too that it's gonna take some time. So don't think,
Yeah.
don't get
Trust
discouraged.
me.
Don't get discouraged or anything like that, because even like there's little small steps, little things that you can actually do just to kind of be conscious and aware of where you can actually start spending. And we actually have what we call our 30-day bag challenge, where we have people put, and we have the little plastic bag. So you guys will have all of my contact information. So if you want one of the bags, just let me know. But basically, it's like a little Ziploc bag. You put all your receipts, your bills, and everything in it for at least 30 days. And at the end of the 30 days, take it out and add it all up so that you can see where exactly you're spending your money. Because a lot of times we so quick to swipe or pay
Mm-hmm.
something with Zelle or Cash App or whatever, and not really paying attention as to how you're spending your money or where your money is actually going. Because a lot of people are paycheck to paycheck, and they were like, well, I don't really have any money to save, or I don't know how to do this or do that. Well, it's like, where do you spend your money? And they don't know. So just being conscious and aware of how and where, then you can kind of develop a plan and figure out, I eat out a lot, or I spend this amount of money every month on lunch. Well, instead of me spending this on lunch, let me save this one day for lunch and take a
Easy
sandwich.
$50 a week.
Yeah,
Like around
easily.
$10.
And then you can kind of go from there. So I tell people, it's like, when you're on a diet plan, it didn't take you overnight to gain weight. So it's not going to be overnight for you to lose the habits that you want to lose, because it didn't happen overnight for you to get it. So just be kind of patient with yourself, allow yourself some grace as you're trying to make those little changes. But it's the little subtle things that add up to big changes. So I was just outside talking to one of our residents. I'm here over at Nubia Square, and she just bought her house. And I've been on her for 2 years. 2 years. This lady went out and bought a truck to keep it in the parking lot outside. I'm like, you don't have a garage yet. Why are you buying a car when you don't have a garage? But she took 4 of our classes last year, including the budgeting and the debt management. And it took her the 2 years to kind of get herself into the habit of paying attention to what she was spending and how she could save. But she got her house and she has her garage now to put her house, to put her, so she nickels and dimes everything now because she started creating those habits for herself. I'm like, you're a homeowner now. She's like, yeah, I got a mortgage to pay. I can't afford to go be paying blah, 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 and spending this money on that. But it's those little bit of habits that you try to, do that kind of put you, what do they say? It takes 21 days to create a habit. So if you do something for consistently for 21 days, then it becomes a habit and it's unconscious. It's just something that you do. It becomes a part of your lifestyle and your way of doing things and your way of thinking. So that's basically what the whole financial capability series is about. It's about getting you to be conscious and aware and figuring out what is it that you want to do with your finances? How is it that you want to make change? How is it, what goals do you want to create for yourself, and how can we help you do it? So it's not for us to tell you how you're spending your money and where you're spending your money is wrong, it's bad, you need to do this. It's nothing like that. It's basically just to get you to be conscious about your relationship and how you treat your money. I saw this, I'm going to send the link to everybody, and we usually play it every year, but there's this YouTube video of this comedian that has this video, or that has this thing where he talks about his relationship with money and how his relationship how his relationship has been real funny acting, and how she doesn't spend time with him anymore, and now she's hanging out with other people, and and she doesn't hang around with him as much as she used to. But all the while he's talking about his money. He's not really talking about a girl or his wife or anything like that. It's all about his relationship with money. So, but it's a real funny little video. So I think I'm going to send that to you guys. So we do hope that you guys join us next month for our next financial capability series, and that is going to be on March the 5th. And I just gave my presentation away, so I don't know which one is the
I think that
is
one
it the budget?
Budgeting.
It is budgeting. So, but for whatever reason, budgeting is such a dreadful B word for a lot of people. They hear budget and they think, oh, restrictions. Like, oh,
I hear
gotta
it.
start.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah, I can't do this. I
budgeting.
can't do that. And that's not really what budgeting is. It's just, kind of keeping
You
track.
spoke for me now.
Yeah, just keeping track of your income, how it's coming in and how it's all going out. That's all it is. It's just tracking. So our tracking class is next month. It's not budgeting. It's our tracking class is next month. So
Yeah.
we hope you guys
I'm
are
going
able to join
into
us
it.
for that. Huh?
So I'm gonna dive more into. I know I talked about it a little bit, but I'm gonna dive more into creating budgets and maintaining them.
Indeed, indeed. All right. So thank you guys very much. If there are no other questions or anything, let's see what we got. Tomorrow we have coming up our wills and advanced legal planning. So if those of you that are interested in trying to figure out what is it that you need to do to how to create a will or an estate plan and why it is that you need it, and dispelling those myths about the need to have an actual will and how the will process actually works for the state of Texas, then you definitely want to join us for that. And that's tomorrow at 1 p.m. And we definitely encourage everybody, if you don't have a will, if you don't have guardianship in place for yourself, for your finances, for your family, then that's something that everyone should probably do. If you have a home, creating a transfer on death deed to help with maintaining your assets and protecting those assets to make sure that it goes to the people that you intend for it to actually go to, or to have access to it in the event you become incapacitated. Who pays your bills? Who takes care of your kids? Who walks the dog, and you're making sure that they're, all taken care of and what have you. So definitely want to tune into that. I would love to come back, but I'll be at work until 2. I will definitely be interested. If you go online and you register, we will make sure that we send you that you will receive the link to go back and watch the recording as well if you are unable to attend. Also on our YouTube page and on our Facebook page at Amos Houston or at NRCDC Houston, we do have all of these recordings for this year's presentations, as well as most of last year's presentations are also still available for you guys. We do again encourage you all, if you are interested in for more one-on-one financial coaching. Can I use the email to sign up? Yes, same website to go to where you register for this class is the same where you go to register for the other classes. And I'll send out a copy of the calendar for the remainder of the month too. But if you guys are interested in one-on-one financial coaching, financial stability education, or financial stability coaching, then we definitely encourage you to reach out to Miss Monet Cheney. Fabulous service that is actually for free. If you guys have more questions about your credit and things of that nature, it is a wonderful free service that is available to you and other folks in the community. If you have children, did you talk or touch base about your career coaching
did
things too?
not. And
Why don't you go ahead and give a quick spiel about that?
Too. So Family Houston, we are working on a new initiative to help youth ages 14 to 24 with financial coaching as well as career coaching. We are having a kickoff at the Rockets game this Sunday, and I believe we still have some slots available. So I'm going to post a flyer for that event in the chat box. So if you have children, cousins, friends, family, whoever that has children in that age group 14 to 24, they are welcome to RSVP for our kickoff event on Sunday. It starts at 11:30. If they're 14 to 17, they do have to have one legal guardian with them. And then if they're 18 to 24, then they can just register themselves and come. We will be doing a one-on-one individualized coaching with them, as well as some job placement opportunities. If they have any business plans or ideas in mind, then we're going to talk about how to develop those businesses, as well as this could be a possibility for small micro grants to help them develop their businesses or expand. Because I met some high schoolers this past weekend that already have functioning businesses. So we was like, well, y'all need to call us and get into this program so we can get you a micro grant and you can expand your business a lot further and earn some more money. So there's a lot of great things that are going to come out of that program, and it's actually being grant funded by the NBA Foundation. So we know they probably got long money over there. So we're hoping that with this grant that we're able to do more to help our youth in the Houston community be more financially responsible when they get older, as well as do some career exploration and business development too. So that's all I have about that. And again, you can contact me at the same number if you have any youth that is interested in attending or signing up for coaching services. We're also going to have a kickoff presentation on the 18th. So I'll share more information with Tania so she can send that out and share as well, because I don't quite have a flyer yet for that. But I will share that with Nia so she can send that information out to you all.
Definitely. And for those folks that are on here as well, or that are watching online, also invite your kids to come to these types of classes as well. So we got to get those kids in the habits of kind of being aware, because you made the statement about not really being aware of how financially strapped your parents were, or what it actually meant to start paying bills and things of that nature. Yeah, because I know for certain that these kids now are swiping or cash apping and Zelling back and forth, and they're not really conscious. They don't know how a checking account actually works and how to keep up with the registry, and they don't even know how to write a check these days. Lord have mercy. But just to kind of get them in the habits also, especially for those kids. This is the time of the year they're preparing. If there are seniors that are out there preparing to go off to college, they're going to start to be bombarded with all these credit card offers and things like that. And it's so easy for them to get caught up and get their credit messed up going to college and not being aware or knowing what to do and how to handle credit at such a young age. So definitely get them involved as well. So, but if you guys have any questions about anything, we'd love to hear from you. Ms. Monet did just put in the chat information about the youth program that they do, the youth initiative program that they actually offer.
And then the link, if they click on this link, it would take them to our website where their youth and teenagers, the teenager and young adults can sign up for the kickoff on Sunday. And so again, it's at the Rockets game. It's a free game for those that show up. So they will hear more about our program. And then also they're going to hear from the Toyota Center, because that's who we have job placement opportunities for the 18 to 24-year-olds. So yes, just click on that link and it'll take you to the website to sign up for that program.
Okay, and I'll make sure that I include this link along with the copy of this recording and the other information that Monet shared with you guys, and the calendar for our other workshops that we've got coming up for this month, and the remaining workshops for the financial capability series. All of that will be included in an email to all of you guys. So we'd love to have your feedback and hear from you guys. I will be also sending out a link for a survey. And we'd love to just hear, what would you think about this particular session? And if there are other sessions that we don't currently offer, what is it that you want to hear? What is it that you need? What other things or services that are out there that you'd like more information about? Then feel free to reach out to myself or to Cecile and let us know so that we can kind of get it on the calendar for you guys. So with that being said, thank you guys very much for joining us this evening. You all have a wonderful remainder of your day. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and we will see you all next time. Thanks again, Ms. Monet.
You're welcome.
All right.